WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. This is my second of 4 videos from Seven Seals from Switzerland. The owner is also the co-owner of Langatun, which is a Swiss distillery. But my problem is on the bottles, it still only says here, and I'm very, very worried because in America it would mean refined and bottled in Switzerland. It does not say distilled in Switzerland. All right, so what do I have? I have Seven Seals. This is the single malt portwood finish. Over here I have the Seven Seals single malt sherry wood finish. Both of these are 46%, very, very good. Both of these cost 62 euros and 99 cents over here in Germany. So, and both of these have no mention whatsoever of natural coloring, and both of these have no mention whatsoever of non-chilled filtered. 46% might suggest it, but if it's not on the bottle, it's not on the contract. So, I'm not a big fan of the labels. Other people might like them. They look very nice when you illuminate them from behind. There is a certain thing there. All right, so if you look here and you look here and so on, but look at the color here. On my right-hand side, your left-hand side is the port, and on the other side is the sherry. Do you notice a difference in any of these colors? I don't. So the port should have a different color than the sherry, right? Wrong. They're exactly the same. I cannot notice anything here. All right, so what do? They do it accelerated maturation. How do they do it? We don't know. It's a top secret, patented or patent pending process. We do know that it is a single malt, which means 100% malted barley, but what happens after that, we don't know. So they keep on talking about the U.S. Bourbon casks are very in shortage. Never before, at least in the last 50 years, have we emptied so many bourbon barrels as now. There is no shortage of bourbon barrels out there on the market. All right, the prices might be 10, 20% higher than they were a few years ago, but everything in whiskey is 10 to 20% higher than they were a couple years ago. So their equation is F finishes divided by Ennoblement times Celerity, which is speed, plus qualities equals 7S, the Seven Seals. The Seven Seals, ooh, something is sealed, something needs to be revealed, and so on. All right, so let's smell these first of all. The master blender is Dolph Stockhausen, and he is the owner of High Spirits Holding, which owns Seven Seals, which is also a co-owner of Langatun. Now on the nose, I'm not getting much port at all. I get a little bit of a honey there. I get a little bit of a wood. I get a lot of sweetness. The nose is not bad, but the entire time it's just like, did somebody take some vodka and just put some wood in there and let it age? I'm not getting a single malt character that I'm used to. All right. There is no age statement on there. This was sold in the European Union, which means it has to be 3 years old. And through that, does it say whiskey? It doesn't say whiskey. It doesn't say whiskey. All right, so one thing I've learned in the last 5 years of reading label is more important what's not on the label than what's on the label. So there is a regulation, there's a nice little document for the European Union that describes what whiskey is. There is no documentation in the European Union what single malt is. Interesting. Interesting. The word whiskey is missing. I'm going to talk about that in my German video next. Oh, wow. So, okay, so this is not necessarily 3 years old. It could be, I don't know. There is no legal definition of single malt. Single malt whiskey, yes, but not single malt in Europe. Tricky, tricky, tricky. And it really goes against my grain, people that do that. All right, so to be very honest, Seven Seals is something I'm not really happy about. And the more I think and the more I taste and the more I try, the less I'm happy about it, actually. All right, the sherry has a little bit more of an orange moment, and the port, I don't get any port whatsoever. I might be blind to port. I drink port. I love port. I have a 40-year-old port. I have ruby port. I have tawny port. I have 10-year-old port. I have no age port. I have a lot of different ports in my cabinet, and I drink probably more port than anyone else I know of around me. But I really don't get that typical port, raspberry, red fruit, plum type of moment here at all. All right, so let's try it. 46%. It actually tastes like vodka with wood and with wood finish, as if you put wood pieces in there. Wow, that's kind of bad. I'm gonna give it a D minus. So, Seven Seals, why don't you have whiskey on your label? Is there a reason? Accelerated maturation is basically a way to make money faster. Now, I know in Switzerland, you're just all about the money, right? But is that really something we need in the whiskey world? I bought these because some of my, not all of my, but some of my super fans, so the people who support me by Patreon, asked, hey, Jason, can we do a bottle share and so on? And I'm still stuck with more than a third of these bottles. Wow, that's not good at all. And a value for money. I mean, this is 62 euros. I can buy two Glendronach 12-year-olds for the price of one of these. I would much, 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 much rather have, looky here, I have the bottle, this than that any day of the week. All right? So, now, I know this is only 43%. I still have the problem that mine says non-chilled filtered. Does it say non-chilled filtered? Does it still say non-chilled filtered? It says non-chilled filtered here at least. That's very, very good. I don't see it here at all on the label. I didn't even notice that before. Reading labels is really a science for all in itself. So that's also one of the tricky things is what is the legal contract? The legal contract might actually just be the bottle. And if they put something on there, they could go, oh, this was the old one. I'm sorry, but we updated it. All right. And so, yes, it might be here someplace, but I just can't find it. Bottled, matured, matured in the fine. Nope, doesn't say anything on the label at all. Non-chilled filtered, at least in my bottle here. So, interesting. They already started with that bottle. All right, good. So, just a 12-year-old in comparison. That has Sherry, Pedro Jimenez, and Oroloso. 32 euros in Germany. 62 euros 99. I can get it for maybe a little bit less sometimes. Oh, yeah. And I get this stuff, and it's just like, why? Why? Oh, but it's from Switzerland. I'm not even really sure. It doesn't say it was distilled in Switzerland. We have a little bit of our problem, ranting and raving, I know, of the same thing with sometimes our Japanese friends. All right, so it says refined and bottled in Switzerland. All right, so WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, ranting and raving, tasting the sherry real quick here as a comparison to the Glendronach. This is much better than this. This is a C minus, C-ish maybe. This is a D, D minus, might be even going towards an F. I don't even know why they produce that. I can almost drink this and not be mad. 62 euros would make me mad. Drinking this and knowing what I paid for really makes me angry. All right, so my question of the day is what portwood finished or matured product have you ever had that didn't taste like port? All right, and if you can't answer that, the next question is what whiskey that you bought and made you angry because it didn't meet your expectations. Urgh. All right, thank you very much for watching WhiskyJason. There's 2 more videos to come on Seven Seals. I don't know, I might just do the cask strength. They didn't even call it cask strength. This is what really bothers me. We have barrel proof and we have cask strength. They call it cask proof. They created a nice little name here also. So, all right, single malt. No, it says sevensealswhiskey.com, but it doesn't mean that it is whiskey. Just because the official website has the word whiskey, and it doesn't mean that's on the bottle as whiskey. All right, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. A little bit angry, agitated, and disappointed today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for telling others about this crazy guy over here in Europe tasting whiskey you might not ever see. But thank you very much for sharing and also letting other people know about these sometimes crappy and sometimes fantastic whiskeys. Depends on what's in my glass. All the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.